Thank you, Sierra. Familiar map, different sides, but most importantly, channeling the power of fun, which once Winthrop Shopify fell back to just treat it like a ranked and loosen up, they look better than ever.
Yeah, indeed. And now maybe the recipe of success after a 1-13 loss last time against this very team of 100 Thieves on Abyss. Well, you're starting to see Infiltrator not going with the Jet, going with the Yoru instead. I think it makes sense. You kind of need somebody to help you really flash into this sites, as Donut's going to have to take that chamber role anyways, right? And Alexa's adding to that support for that double flash for them to try to get some good site control into these areas. You know, the changes going into Pearl these days, there's a lot more nooks and crannies that you hide behind. So you got to make sure that you really cover up all these spaces so you can come through and at least to start the 100 Thieves on the attack. It's Donut, once again, is going to be the first one to get tested.
And they came out with the attacking pistol last time, but it was a 1-6 deficit they had to overcome, and Slandy is not joking around anymore. The IGL tax will not be paid today. Marceline, what a swing, what a shot. Governor lurking, low HP is 100 Thieves. The shock bolt thought he was going to be enough. It ends in favor of Slandy.
That was such a nice try because I thought that shark dart, just like you, was going to land right at the feet of Cryo and take him down to leave it on a 1v1. Thought that he had a timing too with the shock dart that had to be avoided. They could get on top of the site. It ends up being a very important kill that Marceline got onto, I think that was Donut, into the corner. It allows right now for the rest of the team to really go for a safe plant and just play as a group to swing together on that 2 versus 1. So a good start that was definitely needed for 100 Thieves. He was very, very slow on Pearl in the first on the first map. And Cryo is just making sure now that nobody can take full control. He might have to forfeit this now. He's down to 21 HP. Needs some help.
At least Cryo's consistent with the openers. And man, just not done yet. 100 Thieves are down to Clown. Down to kill too. Can anyone stand up to this? Surely someone can just at least finish off Cryo and won't make this a flawless, surely. But Donut. Hide and go seek, except... Well, you're about to get evicted. The whole squad is... The whole squad's there for you. Flawless for 100 Thieves on the AT Eco.
Especially when the knife that hits the full site and not even towards Ivy that gets the ping. You do have the idea that the anchor is playing down towards Troll, down towards the default plant. Able to take down Donut quite easily. It was a nice little attempt to try to take down Cryo at this point, but as I mentioned before, the patience that he brings, waits for his teammates to rotate across for him, and the pop flash on the attack coming out from Asuna allows for the double swing of both Milia and Cryo to prevent that push, prevent the weapon to get picked up here for the side of the defense.
Different look now from 100 Thieves to explore over at A. Okay, moves. Shutting down middle. Orb grabbed, Aldrone out. Governor knows what awaits him. And, well, it's a bullet to the dome, I guess. I was hoping to have more of a say about that. Moves. Does he play it safe? He waits for his initiator to get into play. Selects his both flashes. One out, drop down, beautiful. Belly at 180s. And Slandy has her back too. 100 Thieves, despite getting shaken up, they still stand.
Spike planted.
Donut will be next to take the mantle. Even when you had Util, it was hard to disrupt the plans of 100 Thieves. But Donut wants revenge, but the barrel sticks out. Slandy is having a game. Holy.
Yeah, so far done a great job in the pulse plans, but if not, it's also into the entries that you have from your star duelists. I say duelists because Cryo also does his job to prevent the pushes from happening, but the entries from Melia has been so important for the successes for 100 Thieves for the rounds that they're taking as well. That said, though, I think that these role changes that you're currently seeing between the side of Shopify Rebellion and Winthrop University, it makes sense, but also you're playing it slightly differently as well because the responsibility that Moves had for the longest time playing as a chamber for WU was this middle portion right here. Yet, as you're changing roles, you're still keeping Moves in the middle. as he has range enough to smoke wherever he could help his teammates, but also makes it dangerous for him to try to anchor up that spot. As you can already see, he's getting pushed out quite easily, and it allows 100 Thieves to start scaling up here.
Slandy said, I mean, it makes her job so easy as an IGL when you had Cryo and Melia dropping 20, 30 bombs yesterday. Now everyone has to put in the work. Everyone's taking this a lot more seriously. And you have a save that's already got a first blood, and can they recover that weapon? It's within the smoke, so Cryo can't do much about it. Marceline could have timing here as the smoke drops and flashed, and Cryo can't even trade. There's multiple victims now.
And that would allow so many weapons to get picked off the rotate if the last two players are committing to plan into B. So they know they have some sort at least of weapon advantage for the rifles against the pistols that you have from the defense. So I respect the play from Slaney and Asuna looking to re-clear this area. As they see the amount of weapons as they ping across that are still on the ground, they know they have the advantage to still duel against their opponents.
Unable to upgrade, not wanting to fall for the bait. Seemed so juicy, but Winthrop SR, if anyone can pull off a Thrifty, it's them. They've done it in the previous map for 12 seconds. 100 Thieves just have to be on prevention duty, and they've done it. A Thrifty for Winthrop SR.
Yeah, it was such a big flash by Lesses through that smoke, as well as you just see her on the screen with the reaction. Caught two players off guard on the top of middle, and unfortunately, Slandy, who was all the way back towards the connector from A to middle, wasn't really there to be able to support and save her teammates. And unfortunately here allows the defense to just dethrone the control that the attack had on the top of middle. Look at how it affected both players on top of the staircase. Never saw that coming. That's an important eco round on the side of the defense. That's a lot of economy that gets built up, allowing Donut to invest into an operator.
Ooh, what a ping! And a Hunter's Fury had potential. It parts the Red Sea, but that's all it really did.
Portal closed.
No pings, no damage.
Cutting through.
100 Thieves. Minor setback. Or being grabbed. And now an offensive Hunter's Fury. How about a taste of your own medicine? But the army has shown up at the door. Winthrop SR. Oh, we're gonna try and use the spike as bait, and Governor leaves corpses behind. And Cryo just doesn't have the HP to pull this off, including against an up and against the stack. And he has to pick up the spike, so...
Ain't happening.
Gotta just leave with your head held high.
Just hoping that some mistakes are going to happen as soon as this smoke dissipates. And as you're going to try to peek one by one, potentially, just like you did before, you might allow your crowd to get the dub. Oh, nice. Little wall bang towards the end by Governor, but... I gotta say, it's not necessarily on the HP that Cryocells didn't have to be able to win that round, but it's the lack of teammates that follow up behind him, because after the scaling up the Hunter's Fury, he's able to go for, support on his first teammate that died, but then as he's getting pressured, he's TPing away, but nobody was behind him to take that third layer of that push into the site. So as he TPs out, there's no more players in, there's no more bodies on the attack inside the A site, and then it gets stopped by mollies, smokes, Astra Util, and you can't really move back. Oh, sorry, not Astra Util, smokes mollies, and you can't really get back into the A-side attack. So that just unfortunately didn't turn out the way that they wanted to in the end, and it allows Winthrop University to close that gap by 1.
And speaking of those smokes, I mean, Moobs can't reach the whole map with these clove smokes compared to an Astra, so really stuck at mostly playing middle, but reinforcing A this time. Nice out. And beautiful. It finds its mark. Beautiful shot on Dodonut. Now getting the attention of Winthrop SR. Cover up the gap left in mid.
Might have to come down to trying to go for like a drone or something at the minute mark, because right now you've lost all the information into the map, and there you go. It comes out, middle's open. Now these two players could really focus on trying to anchor up towards this B side and go for a hero play.
There's nothing that can stop 100 Thieves. Moves is on his way. Alexis has a flash to make a play and set herself up, but just desynced from the team. What just happened? Infiltrator, 3K in the blink of an eye. A heart attack just delivered to 100 Thieves.
30 seconds left.
And now it's a duel. Marceline versus Moobs. At least add the clock as a variable here if we get the plant off safe and just spotted moves leaving.
Covering it.
They shot at the same time, still gets the kill. We'll take it. We'll take it. I was just about to say it gives Marcelina an opportunity to just start pushing forward and catch moves off guard, but instead they both go for the, hey, let's just showdown duel out in the open. Moves walks out of the smoke, and Marcelina once again takes the upper hand. So how the hell did Infiltrator get a 3K spray, though, on the top of that B ramp? Oh, dude, it came from a flash from Alexis before the smoke bloomed. That was very, very nice. And that's what we're talking about, right? You're playing two players inside the site. You know the hit is coming. And even if the drone got that pick onto Infiltrator, the ping onto the Infiltrator, it's that pop flash from Alexis allowing Infiltrator to spray those three players and stay alive here, even though he got pinged by the drone. So very nicely done, but it's still 100 Thieves' round.
Donut pairs with their teammate Alexis work together if they need to flash out, make a play, but Melia is a scary jet to go up against. She's got the respect of everyone as Moves disrespects the push. We'll be back in the equation. No, little antsy for that kill, Asuna. And Melia can convert the ace, and Asuna, well, just takes matters into his own hands. But 5-2 now for 100 Thieves.
Dude, he was being rezzed. It should have been an easy kill onto Infiltrator, who stopped shooting. He thought, yeah, I have him down. I could go for the 1v1 right after. But unfortunately, it became a mini boost situation where you can get a player coming out of like a res or a TP, and fortunately Asuna wins that fight. It was going to be a 1v1 where it could have been close no matter what, because it's still Melia, I think, that the one that stayed alive for that res. So Infiltrator definitely didn't have an easy fight towards the end, and 100 Thieves were able to salvage that round. That should have been here with the University and SR to take, with how good it looked on the anchoring in the first place from Moobs. They're on an eco.
Hero rifle for Governor. Help him get the Hunter's Fury if needed. But this split, I wonder if Infiltrator and Governor can get this cut off. This could recover a weapon. I'm coping. 100 Thieves caught completely off guard, and there it is. But Infiltrator is a little trapped, but that's okay. Weapon still recovered. 100 Thieves know there's a flank. Now they're going to extend outwards to maybe find this fourth member.
Time to jump.
And even a dimensional drift invested there from Infiltrator. They think this is winnable. Another thrifty for Winthrop SR. Is it possible? With Alexis at the helm, surely. But no, the window goes unwatched. And now time just may win it for 100 Thieves if they can last that long. And now someone can just get on the spike.
It's over.
Yeah.
Oh, what a close
that
call.
was so nicely played by Winthrop University SR. Like, you look at how Donut was playing towards that middle. She had to bait all of her teammates, and she even stayed as far back as she could on the top of middle, so she doesn't get flushed out by the players of 100 Thieves pushing and flipping the map on the post plant. So as you're trying to move up and pick up the weapons, you go for a nice combination on the double ult of the Silva and the Yoru, and then when you've wasted so much time into the post plant, surely nobody's going to be late flanking back from the spawn side, and there you go. Donut gets a free kill onto Asuna, and then allows here Winthrop University and SR to get the 3 versus 1 in the defuse in the end. It's just beautiful stuff. Leaving that gap on middle was a huge mistake for 100 Thieves. Allows Winthrop and SR to come back.
I like this position from Infiltrator. Open to surprise. Maybe catch the op off guard. Flash drone from Alexis. Infiltrator makes the most of it. Had to readjust. Couldn't confirm the second. But removing Melia is that driving force behind 100 Thieves to get them into the site. So it's going to be a slower affair for this attack. Oh, hello there.
I was going to say, they walk past each other too, and then I think he heard one small footstep, went back up the rope. And even if it's drop, went into a silent drop into spawn. So that just shows that you have to be aware of these situations just in case you make the nose on the rope, you're done. And he didn't do it.
100 Thieves are being tracked like prey, and still wasn't enough of an advantage for Winthrop SR. But they get the trade in the end, and just macro-wise, very split between 100 Thieves. Asuna will join and see if Governor, but doesn't have the HP to brawl against Slandy. And you clear through spawn, and then you'll know exactly where they come from.
Should be a still fade too. So that was huge by Asuna to be able to hear those footsteps. So they both converge against them. They take him down, and now Slann is just playing towards spawn with the Hunter's Fury. So this is pretty much a done deal. Hunter's Fury comes out first. Second one will be the Molly.
Nowhere to run. One enemy
Hunter's
remains.
Fury will ping the Clove, Moog still stands, and Asuna will protect the Sova. Now 100 Thieves double up the score. Looking stronger on their attack early compared to how the last map started. Now they're warmed up. Momentum starts here.
Yeah, I think that both of these teams so far are leaving gaps on mid control, and when it's taken advantage of by the other side, then you're starting to see it where, you know, it swings in their favor. So they got to be ready for these things,
One enemy remains.
especially in the mid rounding. Both of these teams are starting to activate and move fairly slowly here on the first half of Abyss.
Alexis has done such a good job of setting up anyone with these pop flashes, and the same strat with Infiltrator, except now mid. Being heavily pressured there by 100 Thieves when they have the Outlaw in hand. Now this Clove is nearby, the smoke down just to delay things. Protect themselves. 100 Thieves won't have that Cosmic Divide this time, though. Marceline missing. At least you have Melia, and that's what they've really needed to accelerate and scale up into B. Oh, peekaboo. Infiltrator just walks up and kills him. That's funny. The Thieves won't have too much time to breathe, though. Even through the clone. Wow, Flash, Melia, Asuna are relentless.
One enemy
Donut
remaining.
and Alexis now just cut in half. Caught completely off guard. 100 Thieves. The lead grows.
That's insane. That's like Asuna and Melia are just breaking ankles left and right. It's one of those, you know, those kung fu movies where it's just two guys against 100, and then no matter where you go, it's just those two guys just owning everybody on different, finding all the advantage timings versus everybody else and just dropping it like flies. Like, look at how this happens. Pop flashes coming through. Then as they're focusing on Asuna, Melia comes down. Donut turns around, and then you get the backstab from Asuna. Then the dash comes out there from Melia in case Asuna dies. I mean, it was just very nicely done on individual heroic plays, but still in tandem, but allows for them to win the round.
2 rounds left in the half. 100 Thieves catching Infiltrator. Oh, but it sets up Governor for an absolute slaughter. You throw Util, and he still gets away with 2. That is enough to limit the options of 100 Thieves, but at least Melia is in the picture, so you can take space quickly. But they still want to take their time. No dash, no updraft. 100 Thieves, just watch the window. Tough angle to cut. 100 Thieves have been cut down. Quick retake from Winthrop SR.
Yeah, 2 players behind Melia ahead, or Util in hand, or knives out. So as Melia goes for the updraft and sees the person tucked in last second, has to dash away, but the other ones are not ready to come out to
in the half.
go for the kill on the information that Melia is able to grab, and that results in beautiful kills. I think that was Governor, right? Tucked in the corner. And nonetheless, still some very nice little picks towards the end that then allows Winthrop University to just outwin these duels on that post-plant scenario. Look at him right over here. So he baits his teammate for a bit at the very beginning because you lost one at the main entrance, but then the other 2 shots. So you get a 2 for 2. You'll take it at that spot, and you also force an early no command ult from Asuna. That's very, very
Create a
nicely
weaker
done.
post plant. Ooh, and a not purchased. Quick to find value. The smoke is left behind, so 100 Thieves left to not have their jet. Well, that's okay, because Asuna's up to no good. Look where he is now. He's making plays. He's making moves. The timing not favoring him as WSR hope to converge on middle. Watch over the gap, and Moobs creates that gap in Asuna. And now 100 Thieves can move forward, but they gotta worry about Alexis being posted up. And what 100 Thieves could be walking into. They got triple killed by Infiltrator just off of that pop flash, and Alexis doesn't even need all the bells and whistles to get 100 Thieves to sing a different tune.
Yeah, it wasn't even that they can move forward. They had to move forward towards that A site. They already knew that Asuna was moving up towards that top middle, so that's why Infiltrator and Moobs were both just watching their own angles on that side. And as soon as they take down Asuna, they have full mid control. And as I mentioned before, whoever takes that mid control is pretty much taking control of that half or of that map. So very well done, pretty much at this point. And then as you force the hand of the players to try to at least execute towards this B side, the smoke stops them, and then they pick them off.
5-7 in favor of 100 Thieves. It has been quite the back and forth affair, even including the last map ending, or at least the halftime being at 6-6. So we'll see what else 100 Thieves have up their sleeve as they jump on defense, and we'll see you after the halftime break. The ball is in Winthrop SR's court as they are now on offense, and this is already a very different Abyss than what we experienced yesterday.
Definitely. From what was so dominant from one end of 100 Thieves, the moves that came through this time around for Winthrop University and Shopify Rebellion seems to add a little bit more into their arsenal to be able to salvage these rounds. I mean, 5 rounds is still better than 1. We talked about it before.
So true.
Just getting more than 1 would be a good start. But they definitely made it more difficult for 100 Thieves to really capitalize on the one-sided attack side. Now, for is 100 Thieves on these side explosions, because you don't really have a jet to dash through, but they once again could play these double flashes for the entry that could actually be very, very fruitful for them.
And the mind games too. Drone being heard from 100 Thieves. Melia was hoping for a cutoff. Cryo swings and takes advantage. So definitely beneficial for 100 Thieves, hoping to convert yet another defensive pistol. Spike left. Winthrop SR do not care. 28 HP and a dream, hoping to sync up with Alexis, set her up, but too many cooks in the kitchen. 100 Thieves with the pistol.
Seems like we're missing a little bit of util on that smoke towards that back of the site, because you try to throw the one way to not allow cryo cells to spot some players moving through in the back of that bridge. But if there's no recon or something that pings him out, he could just freely move forward and go for the wide swing and TP back into safety, back towards security. So he even gets a 2-piece on top of that. So that's something that Winthrop University will have to rethink as they're going to try to go for it a second time in their eco, infiltrated with a Marshall. But I gotta say, if anything, Alexis has been so good with these pop flashes for the team, so that if they're able to go into these gun rounds and go for these sites to really try to overtake the anchors inside A.
And a standstill after a knife detects a couple from Winthrop SR in Maine. But always trying to be careful of when you grab the orb. You never know if Governor or somebody, or not Governor, but somebody's tucked in from 100 Thieves. But the first blood opens. 2 down already.
It's crazy.
Winthrop SR on these lower buys. There's something else. An Infiltrator is a beast with this Marshall, and he may just repeat for more. And Asana's gonna respect it. Marceline doing the opposite, having to solo hold B against the world and ping. So that's understandable. Gonna retreat and regroup.
But not getting that pick onto Marceline gives a chance now for Asuna and Marceline to still win this round. Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Not when Karn's still alive like that. Easy pick. How the hell are they winning these rounds with pistols?
Right? Asuna believers. It's not
Thrifty.
another thrifty low buy win from Winthrop SR. At least they still believe, and at least they don't give up.
Yeah, and that's what you mentioned before. They only had a Marshall and a couple of pistols, yet for the long-range battles on middle, it was still won for the side of Winthrop University / SRG. So it's quite surprising that they're able to pull out such a huge advantage with the weapons that you have equipped for the side of 100 Thieves on defense, and what eco of 100 Thieves. A little bit of a heavy investment, if I should say that myself, but I mean, they want to play things differently. Just let them walk into the crosshair. It
was better with the Marshall even last round. The Outlaw, more bullets does not mean more kills. So Guardian Angel watches over Melia left at 9 HP, though. We'll have to stay humble and out of sight, out of mind, while the rest of Winthrop SR follow through in the footsteps of Dodona and other lurkers, taking up space. Unless Cryo catches them off guard with just the classic, though.
The drone didn't see him. So they ping it because they hear the footsteps of the Slanty falling back. So now they can just start selling this fake towards this B side, especially with that kill onto Cryo. And it should be an easy walk into the A site. Now that Governor is going to potentially just give his life away. But again, just an eco. I mean, it's still a rifle picked up. We know what they did last time when they had a rifle picked up on Pearl. Thankfully, though, Cryo's the one that did all that damage. And he's down early in this round.
I understand the read from Cryo. You would think someone would want to go for height, watch over the site before getting in. It's at the wrong place at the wrong time. 100 Thieves is not as lucky on these lower buys, but at least Asuna got the Vandal, and they seem to believe something is possible. But no, that Vandal's been dropped, recovered by Slandy, and they're just gonna pile in, hope for the best. Feed into the hands of Winthrop SR. We'll keep all 4 weapons into the next.
When I mentioned at the end of the last map on Pearl, and I said, okay, they got to find some sort of solution against a potential double op when they're going to play the attack against the defense of 100 Thieves. Well, let's say Winthrop University and SRG are starting with double rifles or double scopes on their side on the attack to just open up the sites and open up the lanes rather, and it works out in their favor. We'll definitely we're going to see a different type of strategy though moving forward into the later rounds once the economy is going to be quite even on both ends. But it was still a huge pain point that they're going to have to overcome later on here in this half.
Well, one thing to overcome is a tech pause, but sometimes teams come out better ahead when they have more time to think for themselves. But one thing is assured, whenever, I guess, Winthrop SR have a lead, there's a comeback from 100 Thieves. Whenever 100 Thieves have a lead, it's just definitely not over. You had that 13-11 on Pearl in favor of Winthrop SR, and I could easily see this going to distance, which I'm quite pleased based on the 13-1. Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing that made that series long was a tech pause on that side.
True.
No, but jokes aside, though, I think that's the other thing, too, is in a tech pause, you can't really communicate with your teammates. You are in your own thoughts to just try to cool yourself down, and be a little bit more zen moving into the later rounds. So sometimes you can take it to your advantage, or sometimes you're overthinking things, and you're going to be a prisoner of your own mind, and your aim starts to slip off a little bit more. But not at this level so far, as you can see through these replays. There's been a lot of good shots coming in. Even this one right here. Pre-aim shots, wall bangs, headshots, so that there's not too much HP coming out or remaining from these players when the trades happen. They're all headshots so far. I mean, this is very nice to see at this level of play between the co-ed rosters.
Liking what Infiltrator's doing with the snipers, because I felt like it was a lot of the Dodonut versus Cryo show or in the previous map of Pearl. And Infiltrator's had these moments on these lower buys with Marshall, Outlaw, whatever it is, to make a significant dent into middle control, which is very important on this map. And Infiltrator's definitely having a good game overall, too.
And the positioning you have from the Chambers on the defense are a little bit different, too, as you're seeing the... where Cryocells is currently positioning a lot of these moments on that A site. At least on that pistol round, we'll have to see if that will be the case once they have the rifles to work with. But this is just going to be another one of those maps where it doesn't really matter on what side he plays, because on the other end, we'll have Melia, and on the other end, we'll have potentially an op. So it's going to ask for a lot, I think, on Governor and Alexis at the beginning of these rounds, especially with this meta where it takes a much longer time for the next wave of refreshable util to come up. You're going to have to at least take advantage of the lack of information or information you can immediately get with a knife and Silva Dart.
Nop yet again for Dodonut against Melia, who was also fantastic with it on Pearl. This A travel has been a lot sketchier for Winthrop SR. Going to be extra careful and confirm before the orb is grabbed, and Dodonut grabs herself a kill. Removing Cryo, one of the MVPs of that roster, is definitely a boon in this round. Knife thrown, suppress, and remove some of the tools that Winthrop SR have. Gotta be careful, this drop down from Slandy. It's quickly dealt with by Winthrop SR. It's gonna be a quick plan and open sight. Yeah.
You're already seeing him holding back towards that spawn, and it started off well, at least in terms of what Cryocells, how he played it. You see the TP that's being placed. He's trying to jiggle up between the top and middle, but he also even avoids the recon dart before he tucks back into his angle. He even had an opportunity to get first shot onto Dodonut, yet Dodonut had to flick the shot to trade it back and to win that duel, and she did exactly that. So it had to be a beautiful shot on that side to allow Winthrop University to take full control and advantage of this 4-player hit towards that A site that the last 2 anchors couldn't get anything done. But saving the op would be really nice right now for 100 Thieves. But also, on the other end, receiving in is Governor, but they'll know now that the op is also still available or purchased now on the side of the Thieves on defense.
Everyone's learned their lesson from jumping into Cryo's sideline with an op that you just don't do that. Everyone's taking this very seriously now. And then you get to have the Dimensional Drift as the opening play for Infiltrator coming up. I think Governor's maybe 2 or 3 away from the Hunter's Fury, so some good old cycles coming in from Winthrop SR, who were at a 3-round deficit, now have tied things up.
This is where it gets important. You see here that the initiators are trying to just group up together right now to try to find that early info. The pings are coming out as well for the 2 players first to take some map control on mid. Starts with the Dimensional Drift. They haven't seen Melia, so that will probably be the green button for them to just start moving more aggressively inside B.
He's got so much time because he teleported deep into middle, gets the heads up on Marceline, and the rest of the Ducklings follow suit. Now you get heads up onto the high ground. Cryo gonna call that out to the KO. Asuna has flashes. It's a bit of a delay and desync from 100 Thieves on when and how they show face. And Melia went in too early. 100 Thieves, definitely Asuna stuck and being watched, and now just acting as bait for Slandy and Cryo to walk in and take advantage of that lapse in focus. Double kill versus double kill. But Asuna just has a stinger and just maybe has time to grab a weapon and leave, but not very winnable.
He definitely wants to try to get the op, but as he crosses over, you see here, oh, the Governor was trying to peek out towards that area, but he finds that timing, able to save that op for the next round.
Oh,
nope, that's
never mind. That was close. Dimensional Drift pulled off beautifully, and he got that first blood. You can't ask anything more from Infiltrator. This has definitely been his map. And although we're used to him being more of that explosive rays or neon or something fast and loose. He's now on the Yoru and he's playing mind games. He's playing with his food, and it's enough to give Winthrop SR the lead for now.
Yeah, we're seeing rare misses coming out from Melia and Cryo with the operator when they're able to have the opportunity to wield it, because that usually, if you're witnessing the first map of how Melia has been shooting with the op, should have been an easy kill there onto Infiltrator, who was stuck out in the open. Now it's the op onto Cryo, holding towards that B site, and the dash proc for the A site control, and it's denied by Infiltrator.
Missing out on Melia's always a heartbreaker for this team. That means everyone else has to put in the work. Silence over at A. So 100 Thieves keep their focus on middle, which has been taken advantage of by Winthrop SR. Just think about the dimensional drift that guided Infiltrator through there. Now the drone emerges. 100 Thieves know the hit is coming. They try to be ready for it, but ready or not, here comes Dodona with the op, and the smokes try to split up the fights. Give 100 Thieves a leg up despite the clear number advantage for Winthrop SR. 2 versus 5, feeling impossible.
Exactly. It's going to have to be another attempt to save, but they're making noise retreating so that Infiltrator now could start going for the hunt. He's going to get closer and closer to his dimensional drift, and they have pretty much the rounds and money to work with. That's information in the last 2, but I got to say, I thought the idea was quite nice for 100 Thieves in the mid-round. You see that turret, the trademark being placed by Cryo Cells on the top of that B ramp so that they could just focus on util to watch that area once it gets procced up and they play soft side B, and all of them are just converging towards that middle to hold that line. But in the end, as you take that mid control, you're able to use that Hunter's Sphere to support towards that B site if that trademark comes up, and then you can flood back in at that spot. But I think the issue is because you've lost Melia so early at the beginning of that A site and you're going into the mid round and it stayed very quiet, now the paranoia sets in and you think that players are going to be re-hitting on that side for the attack on the A site. So you give up that mid control, and then they find that timing for SRG Winthrop University. There was no way there for 100 Thieves to group up together to fight on that defensive line.
Winthrop Shopify look unstoppable. This was the potential that they're finally meeting at with 5 rounds in a row strung up on their offense. Which was a strong side for them now. Hunter's Fury available for Governor. That's that next ult cycle with the null command. It's actually ults available for both sides. So who will pull that trigger first? Owl Drone down mid to maybe help guide Melia. Give her some information to work with so she doesn't get first blooded. Really nothing seen.
Drone's even not going to clear top middle, so yet 100 Thieves still have three players at that spot, and they're fine. And this is what I was talking about, that range that you have where Slaney is currently playing support now with the Hunter's Fury on the top of that front B site. Melia stops that lurk on middle, and in her prime position now to close that gap. 3 players rotating over towards that B site, exactly where Winthrop University Shopify are looking to hit.
Infiltrator already almost has another dimensional drift. He's trying to earn it right here and right now. 100 Thieves smokes up Hunter's Fury from the defense to try and delay things, and Marceline will just clean house. Holy, what a team, what a comeback from 100 Thieves, making that a flawless, breaking the wind in the sails too of Winthrop SR.
Yeah, some very nice Guardian shots. I don't think Marceline's used to playing on land, because I remember just when we finished in between maps, Melia did the same thing, pulling out their fist to be like, yo, fist bump me, and Melia was just chilling, looking at the ground or something, or somewhere Marceline rather was just staring at the ground instead of going for the fist bump to connect with Melia. But finally, the smiles come through, and then 100 Thieves are one away from tying up this game. Attack side, though, they can do the simple Hunter's Fury into the dimensional drift. You see that Governor was lined up to get the recon dart into the A site. And here's that hit.
A lot of ults. Hunter's Fury and dimensional drift. I'm surprised Austin is still lingering. Everyone else with disengaging was respecting what Winthrop SR have been throwing at them. You know, so Asuna gets away with that. Now the Owl Drone clears the site. Winthrop SR feeling secure, but that ping Reveals Asuna, and moves is still quick enough to deal with Cryo. Trouble around the corner, and they can all funnel in to the top of the site. WUSR have cleared that window. Governor doing great work at the side. I need Marceline to have a big moment here at the top of the window. No, the awareness is just next level from Winthrop SR. They get up to 11.
Oh, man, I thought it was going to be a good hold for 100 Thieves in the first place because, as you mentioned, Asuna stays towards that A site and still is able to get that pick from Infiltrator coming out of his ult as the Yoru. And I think it's also thanks to Slaney's Hunter's Fury. As you're training out Hunter's Fury's ults on both sides, you're also splitting out the timings of the attack, kind of leaving Infiltrator on an island, allowing Asuna to fight the 1v1 against him to take that spot. But then as soon as you're overtaken, the Flood retake it didn't work out in their favor because they tried to go for a 3-2-1 triple swing, but they didn't expect a high-low coming out here from WSR at the end.
And the clone in. Cryo not going to fall for it. He's steady, but the trades are good. Great delays, too, from the Gravwell. 100 Thieves stay put. They split off to watch both sides, while Winthrop SR, they split off to go elsewhere.
It was a recon dart that pings 2 players towards the A site after that first trade-off, so they know now where there's a weak side towards B. So a contact play for 3 players to move up, potentially not even swinging all the way through the bookcase. Making sure that move stays in with the team, so he's in good enough range to go for these smokes for the site exec. But they only have 1 to work with. They'll probably be used towards Heaven so that Governor could use the drone to clear out towards Ivy. And then Alexis's knife, if they have it, she could throw it here towards Troll.
Now 100 Thieves have a heads up. This could be a moment for Melia to be that headliner, to be in the spotlight. Oh, Dodo that just spots the ponytail, and that's enough. Cryo putting in the work. Triple kill for him. Dodonut, the last one. And with not a good route to exit. 12 seconds.
10 seconds
Open to do damage. You're hearing the jumps and catches Marceline on the climb up. It's possible. Donut. Oh, make it 4 for Cryo. Staying steady and calm under pressure.
There's so many multi-kill rounds coming out for a lot of these players across the board for 100 Thieves. Melia being one, Cryo, Asuna. Marceline had the trip kill a couple of rounds ago too, so the anchor plays that they're currently doing are superb for 100 Thieves. This was a nice heads-up play by Melia, by the way. It was supposed to be. I thought it was going to be a contact walk-up and then a full site exec into the B site to surprise your players. But as they go for 2 or 3 players spamming behind the box, thinking somebody was going to hide in that spot, you saw Melia start activating, walking right away through the bookcase and go for that flank in the back and just backstabs Governor as he's going inside that drone. Not only does it eliminate the threat of the drone into Ivy, but it also dwindles down the numbers to support for the actual hit inside the site. So that was a huge play coming out from Melia to keep that dream alive for 100 Thieves to try to push this into a 3rd map.
Winthrop Shopify with a timeout to discuss how these final rounds could be breaking down, or maybe it's a snack break for the coach.
Yeah, let's just both call timeouts and both go to the bathroom. So that means for me, why the hell was Marceline nodding and be like, yeah, I understand. There's just nobody at the desk.
The voices, you know?
Yeah. It's Cryo calling.
The ghosts. But this is so close. I'm so stoked that this match turned out to be good because I was a little worried about the encounter from yesterday. But I think there were different levels of seriousness when it was more for seeding yesterday. But this is do or die with Winthrop SR on series point.
And mind you, I don't even know if they actually have a coach with them for 100 Thieves.
Here.
As the head coach being NBS is probably still getting his visas worked out for the Americas. And whilst King Fred, usually the coach for Winthrop University, well, I just played a 5-stack with him yesterday, so he's definitely not there.
That'd be quite the multitask, but
Yeah. Well, he did multitask a lot, right? Coaching for Winthrop University and Wadada, but probably not going for the 5-stack plus coaching WSR.
Small desync between the Owl Drone and Cryo's swing, but Asuna makes up for it. Double kill on entry. When you have the grab well, you have chamber util. There's some hoops that Winthrop SR have to jump through. But where they end up, 100 Thieves seem to have a read that this would be a pivot towards B. But Slandy's gonna stay put. They're gonna come back towards A.
30 seconds left.
I was gonna say, so interesting that you still want to commit into this one because your economy is down the drain if you lose this round. Yet Donut still gets an entry and they flip the map.
13 seconds. This is an important round. Flashes out. Asuna on the prowl, but doesn't want to drop down into the nade. An infiltrator. He's gonna get proactive, but does not want to get kicked in the head. So they stay put, stay in cover, play it safe. Cosmic Divide to kind of break up this fight through the chaos. Melia will thrive and swings into her own smoke. And 100 Thieves will get away with tying things up 11-11.
Damn. That was just very nice on the exec in the end. I love the idea of Infiltrator walking back towards main because as the Cosmic Divide comes up, you hear the drop into outside of heaven into the front side of A. So he's going to get all that info to get Donut ready. It should have been a free kill there onto Melia, and somehow with Melia still dashing right into the barrel of his gun, he couldn't get the kill. 100 Thieves went on a 3 versus 1 retake. You're blocking that wall. You can't recross that bridge. Becomes an easy defuse towards the end. He even spotted right there through this replay from Austin, the spray that he had through the smoke. Just got one before, kept spraying, got a second one. And yeah, despite that happening, I don't care. You take the round for that side for 100 Thieves. You break the econ for your opponents. Although, because they had a plant for the side of Winthrop University SRG, they have enough here to go for rifles and small shields and a Guardian for Lexus. But this is a huge investment. If they don't get another plant once again, that's 100 Thieves playing against a broken buy and potentially a 13-11 in the end to close.
100 Thieves are back-to-back rounds. They're in the driver's seat. Like you said, important how this map could end. Cryo with the op will be at A. Maybe hearing the recon and the drone be used by Governor. Will pull rotations. Winthrop SR have paved their way into the site, and Marceline could get away with murder here. She's flashed, waits for the perfect moment to strike. Oh, it doesn't even drop the spike. Alexis trusted she had time. Marceline consistent on her impact towards B. Now Asuna's in the fray. Flash out, unaffected. Hunter's Fury, awkward timing, but could get a ping, could confirm the kill on Asuna. And it does, and it's enough.
I was just about to mention, if anything, Marceline did a huge hero play to drop that spike. But at that point, the other players from Winthrop University SRG already fell back to try to play the pulse plant with the Hunter's Fury. At that moment, when you know that there's still one player anchored inside the site, you know the ping's coming out from the KO as Asuna had his null command for that retake, you could go for the Hunter's Fury and find that timing so that moves could even push forward from the Abyss ledge while the Hunter's Fury gets activated, not use it in the pulse plant, and then play it to perfection. And they're able to overtake the last two players playing on high-low for 100 Thieves, and that heavy investment that they had allows for them to get series points.
Dimensional drift. This is for all the marbles for Winthrop SR. Can Infiltrator deliver them the win? 100 Thieves want to get ahead before the setup is there. Marceline will clap back against the competition. And I thought that pistol was going to end moves. Still main character energy.
Yeah, but he's 6 foot, so just hits him in the chest.
Oh, that's true. Oh, and Donut stays put. Stays ahead of the game. 2 versus 2 for the win. Slandy, Cryo. A duo you wouldn't expect, but the IGL. Call the shots, moves to HP, and it ends just like that.
And we'll do it again.
Oh, God. We have Winthrop Shopify going to the grand final.
And low HP on, I think that was moves, right? On that 2 versus 2, and they both instantly get the kills against their opponents of 100 Thieves. This is definitely going to feel good for these 5 players who had, I mean, just as the other team that's making it to the grand finals in FlyQuest and Envy. Both of those teams had very slow starts, yet they're still making it to the grand finals in these America Spotlight Series. That's super cool to see how things have turned around. As for both of these teams, especially for Winthrop University and Shopify Rebellion, they had to figure out new roles throughout the day and just adapt on the fly. And they finally found the, looks like to be the winning recipe, is to have this person right here on that chamber.